Okay. Let's talk about the client. I try to make it a bit shorter because the previous talk was a bit longer. I'm Olivier Goffard. I'm a developer working on the client. And in this presentation, we will talk about the new feature in the version 2.5, which was just released, and also the features that are coming in the version 2.6. But first, let's start with an introduction about how the desktop client works, just so you can understand what the new features actually are. So the history of the desktop client, at the beginning, it was just an UI for CSync, and CSync was a utility to synchronize with different protocol, supported FTP, Samba, and so on, and WebDAV. And then this was the base on top of which the on-cloud desktop client was built. Over the year, we started to drop as many features of CSync to just concentrate to what is beneficial for the desktop client, and we changed a lot of the architecture, which was with very much abstraction layer, so just so we can have an efficient desktop client for on-cloud. So the way the synchronization algorithm works, it has basically three views on your files. There's the view from the file system, so that's what is in your computer. There's the view from the server, and in the middle there is the database. It's a database which is in the sync folder, which contains the metadata from the files which were synced. And so in order to sync all of this, there is three phases. During a sync, there is three phases. In the first phase, we're going to discover and find out what has to be done. So we're going to first look and stat all the files in your local file system to see if any files has changed. Then we're going to ask the server in which directory they were changed, and we're going to go over each directory to find out if there were changes. So normally this is pretty fast because there is not so many files that changed, but for the first sync, we need to go over the whole hierarchy of files. Once we've done that, we can do the reconcile, so we can find out what to do, so we can compare all those trees and see there were new files have changed or anything. Then we can do it in the third phase. So this means, in particular, that first we have to query the server for change, and then we do the change. This will be important for the next features. Anyway, let's talk about what's new in 5.2.5, which was released today. If I'm not mistaken, the release is already out. Thank you. So one of the change in the sync protocol is that it knows do a faster local discovery. So before, we were browsing the whole trees and starting all your files to find out if any of those files has changed. And this might take a long time. So when you modify one file, one picture you want to see uploaded, first the client will check all your files and then upload this file. But now in 2.5 we rely on the file system watcher, and it will not do that anymore. It will know that there is only with this one file which has changed, so it will upload it immediately. And so we no longer sync the tree at every sync, only maybe once every 2 hours, just in case the file system watcher is not working properly. Another new feature of 2.5 are virtual files. So this is just a stepping stone towards a new feature which may come, which is a better virtual file system. So in this practice, we don't download all the files, we just create placeholders for the files, and then when we open it from the the Explorer, it opens the file. So currently it's experimental. It's experimental because we don't know whether this approach is really a good approach. We haven't. It's new, and so it's marked as experimental. But please test it. Please provide feedback, and we can see if this is something. So in order to better explain the feature, I thought maybe we can show it live. So let's. Sure. So let's create a new account. And there is here a new checkbox here. I don't know if you see correctly, but we're gonna use virtual files instead of downloading the content immediately. It's an experimental feature, so there's a little warning, but we'll enable it. We connect, then that's it. It's synchronized, and so that's OnCloud 3 here. And so we see that it didn't create OnCloud manual.pdf, it created OnCloud.pdf manual.onCloud. And if I click on it, so behind the scene, the OnCloud client will download the file, and then it opens it. And so let's do it again with a nice picture. We click on it. It takes a bit of time for the file to be downloaded, but then it opens. And there is some option in the context menu. So we can either download all the files, or we can replace them again with virtual files. And we can do that, or we can, oops. We can also do that for entire directories. On Cloud, we can say, okay, download all the files or replace all the files by virtual files. So that's the feature. Thank you. Yes, and as I said, it's still experimental. Let's see in practice how the user cope with the fact that there is a new extension that cannot be opened from everywhere and stuff like that. But this basically replaces selective sync, and and maybe in the future we can try to integrate that with virtual file system. But that's the feature right now in 2.5. And another changes in 2.5 is the way the client is installed. Previously, the Windows client was built from Linux, so it was cross-compiled using MinGW. But in 2.5 now, it's compiled directly on Windows using MSVC. And there is a new MSI installer. So the MSI installer is more or less the standard on Windows to install thing. So it should be, there is a few more features. There will be a talk tomorrow about exactly what this provides this means for you. But this doesn't look like a big change, but it actually is so much work and for the people involved. So yeah. And as in every version, we also upgraded the Qt version. So especially this means that now HTTP2 support, which was already kind of supported in the previous version, but now within the new Qt, it's enabled by default. And there was in 2.5 there's also a lot of bug fixes as usual, like HDPI support and things like that. So let's move to the plan for the 2.6, which gonna probably be released next year. Delta Sync. So Delta Sync is a feature that was contributed by some bounty hunter. He wanted to. So the idea is that when you have a huge file and you only change a small part of the file, not the whole file is downloaded, but just the part that changes. It's using the same algorithm as rsync with rolling checksum, and it needs also some changes in the server, which is already included in the server version 11. Yeah, and this is going to be in 2.6 normally. Another feature for 2.6, which would probably be in it, is an improved discovery algorithm. So, as we've seen before, the first step is to discover, and this might take a long time, especially for the first sync. And in 2.6, the idea is to do the phases in parallel. So we can already download and upload files as we are discovering. And so this means that, especially for the first sync, we don't need to wait for a very long time until we read the whole files from the server. Asynchronous upload. This is a feature which will, with support from the server, if we have very huge files, it might take a long time in the server to process the file, and this might result in a timeout in the client. And this HTTP timeout just makes the client shows an error and sometimes cause a synchronization issue. And in the future, the server will reply immediately with saying, hey, I'm processing the file, please call me later with this ID, and we will find out if the files was successfully uploaded or not asynchronously. And so this is useful for uploading very huge file when there was an HTTP timeout. In 2.6, we also plan to remove Shibboleth support. So Shibboleth now is deprecated, and we should use OAuth 2 instead, or OpenID Connect, or something like that. So the problem with Shibboleth is that it requires a browser within the client. So the design of Shibboleth was not really for client authentication; it was more for web things. And so, because having a browser in the client is a huge thing, so we're happy to get rid of that. And the difference is that OAuth 2 calls the native browser of the user. Yep. Another feature is that we will try to fetch more config from the server. So, for example, default folder configurations, or so this is still in development. So any configuration that you want to get from the server, we can have it done like that. The way this will work is that there will be some kind of hidden file within the synchronization tree, which contains this configuration. And yes, so that's it that I had to do. But I'm happy to answer any questions. And if there is no questions, or is there a question? If there is no question, then let's hope that 2.6 will be a good release.